This video details about human relation in nursing. Human relations are fundamental in a civil society and in each profession. Nurses are one of the largest groups in healthcare workforce. They are constantly interacting with the patients, their relatives, colleagues, as well as other members of multidisciplinary healthcare team inside and outside the healthcare organization. Definition of human relation. It is an area of management practice which is concerned with integration of people into a work situation in a way that motivate them to work productively, cooperatively, and with economic, psychological, and social satisfaction. It is an area of management and it is concerned with the integration of people into a work situation. This integration should be such that people should be motivated to work productively, cooperatively, and with economic, psychological, and social satisfaction. Coming to meaning of human relationship or relation in nursing. It refers to the relationship of nurses with colleagues and other department personnel and of nurses with the patient. Otherwise, we can say it is intra-departmental, interdepartmental, and interpersonal relationship to provide quality care to their patients. Strategies to promote cardinal human relation. To maintain human relation, these vital strategies are important. One, to have common organizational goal, have group cohesiveness, effective communication practices, defines organizational structure, strengthening a sense of oneness, training and skill building in human relation, policies to promote coordination and cooperation among employees. Different dimensions of human relation in nursing. There is nurse-patient relationship, nurse-family relationship, nurse healthcare team relationship, and nurse-community relationship. Coming to different aspects or different elements of human relation. The first element is understanding the self. Definition of understanding the self. Understanding self represents the sum total of a person's conscious perception of his identity as distinct from others. It is not a static phenomenon, but it continues to develop and change throughout their life. That is, our perception of our identity as distinct from others is the understanding of self. It will change as the life of the person continues. Different components of self-concept or understanding of self include body image, personal identity, role performance, and self-esteem. Idea about all these components constitute self-concept. Importance of understanding self. It is a key competency to function effectively in an organization. It helps to make decisions about self, others, and organization where we are working. Self-understanding equip an individual to make effective career and life choice and the ability to lead, guide, and inspire with authenticity. Now we will see an effective tool to make understanding the self effective. That is called a Johari window. This concept is given by Joseph Luft and Harry Ingham. In Johari window, there are four opening or four windows or four parts. One is open self, blind self, hidden self, and unknown self. These are the four selves of personal identity or self-concept. Open self is the information about you that is known both to you and others. That is, known to self and known to others is called the open self. Coming to blind self, that is unknown to self and known to others. That is the information about you that you don't know, but it is unknown to others. The third aspect of self is hidden self. That is unknown to others, known to self. It means information about you that you know but others don't know. Coming to the last part of self, that is unknown self, is unknown to self and unknown to others. Means information about you that is neither you nor others know. About strategies to improve self-understanding based on Johari window. Increase the size of the open window, that is increase the size of the open space. It can be increased by disclosing his or her personal information feelings to other team members. So increase the size of the open window. Then always reduce the size of unknown self by making others observe self-discovery or mutual enlightenment via group experiences and discussion. Increase the size of the open window by disclosing our personal information to others. Decrease the size of unknown window by observation by others, self-discovery and mutual enlightenment within a group. Also, the blind self is not an effective space. This can be The size of blind self can be reduced by seeking or soliciting feedback from others and thus increasing the open area. Seeking feedback from others helps to reduce the size of blind self, which is important part of understanding self. And lastly, the hidden self must always be at the individual's discretion. Some parts of personal self must remain hidden. That means it is known to me but unknown to others. The second aspect or second element of human relation is social behavior. It is interaction that takes place between members of the same species or the behavior directed towards a society. It is the behavior directed towards a society or it is interaction that takes place between members of the same species. Antisocial behavior refers to behavior that may harm the society. Coming to types of antisocial behavior, there are four types. Aggression, which means the social behavior with the intention to hurt others. Next, social behavior is altruism, that is selfless service to the society, that is feeling of concern, sympathy and benevolence of others. Third, social behavior is scapegoating, that is a tendency to blame others for own problem or mistakes. And the last is shyness, that is lack of confidence when a person is in the proximity of an unfamiliar person. Coming to factors influencing social behavior, social norms, cultural and social custom, values, tradition, drive, motives and ambition. Third element is social attitude. Social attitude refers to a group of people or individual from a society perceive other objects, situation, people and phenomena. How people or individual perceives others, in the sense other objects, situation or people or phenomena. That is called a social attitude. Example, some individual may have a negative social attitude with the patients with the HIV. Others may have a positive social attitude. Importance of social attitude. It determines the social behavior or the social behavior is based on social attitude. Social attitude is a mechanism of social control. It decides our status or position of somebody in the society. It gives approval or disapproval of individual. Then social rejection of an activity restrains the culprit from repeating the same activity. The social attitude leads to social rejection of an individual so that the culprit will not repeat the same activity. Coming to changes in social attitude. Social attitude is a dynamic nature or it is a dynamic factor and it keep on changing with new experience. It can be positive or negative. Alteration in attitude do not arrive alone, they come hand in hand with the changed social values. Fourth element of human relation is motivation. Motivation is derived from the Latin word movere, which means to move, to energize, or to activate. So, it is a process that produces energy or drive in the individual to proceed with an activity. So, motivation is a process that derives the energy or that gives the energy for an individual to proceed with an activity. The motivational approach consists of be strong approach, be good or paternalistic approach, and effort reward approach. To motivate somebody, a leader should use any of these approaches. About be strong approach. The enterprise put thrust on economic reward. To motivate an individual, economic rewards are essential. That is the concept of this approach. Next is be good or paternalistic approach. It means rewarding a person to get productive work in return. This reward it include not economic matters but job security, recreation, fair supervision and sound working condition. Another approach to keep a person motivated is effort reward approach. This is slightly different from other two approaches. Here, the manager set up standards of practice and he continuously observe if the employees adhere to the standards of practice. Then the reward is based on the base of his performance, that is the extent to which a worker adheres to the ideal standards of practice. So if there is good adherence to practice, then the reward is good. Otherwise, there is negative reward. So this acts as a sense of motivation to work. About Maslow's hierarchy model of motivation, to keep an individual motivated, these 6 levels of needs has to be satisfied. Primarily, an employer needs to satisfy the physiological needs of employee. Next, safety needs, then love, belonging need, esteem needs, and finally, self-actualization needs. Next is individual and group. The fifth aspect of human relation is individual and group. An individual is a single unit in a group, and a group is a collection of many individuals with a common goal to achieve. Coming to definition of social group, a social group is a aggregate of people playing interrelated role and are recognized by themselves or others as a unit of interaction. A social group is a aggregate of people playing interrelated role. Characteristics of a group. Each group has own identity and structure. A group includes at least 2 or more people. Group members have shared goal or purpose. They have conscious identification with each other, or they have clear identity of each other. Group members need each other's help to achieve the purpose. Group members influence interact with others, and every group has its own rules and norms to be followed. About classification of group while considering human relation. We can classify social groups into different categories. First one is on the basis of contact, that is given by C.S. Cooley, primary group and secondary group. Primary group, whether the individual is in close proximity. Secondary group, once in a while there is interaction or there is contact. On the basis of identification by W.G. Summer, in group and out group. On the basis of rules and regulation, if there is formal rule, formal group. If there is only no formal rule, that is called an informal group. On the basis of structure, that is Dwight Sanderson, voluntary group, involuntary group and delegate group. On the basis of relation to the society, according to George Hazen, unsocial group, pseudo-social group, anti-social group and pro-social group. Pro-social group exists for the benefit of society. Anti-social group is act against the interest of society. Pseudo-social group act for the interest of their own well-being, not for the society's well-being. Unsocial group that does not do anything in favor of society. Coming to roles of an individual in a group. Initiator, information seeker, information giver, opinion seeker, elaborator, coordinator, orienter, evaluator, energizer, procedural technician, recorder, group building and maintenance role. And the last aspect or element of human relation is teamwork. Teamwork divides the task and multiples the success. Teamwork is an action performed by a team towards a goal. A team consists of more than one person and each person has typically different responsibility. Elements of a team: common purpose, interdependence, clarity of roles, satisfaction, mutual and individual accountability, realization of synergy, and empowerment. Principle or strategies to build a successful team: clear expectation, commitment, competence, control, communication, collaboration, and coordination. Functional classification of team: healthcare team and medical care team, and also patient care team. Healthcare team include all who are involved in improving community health setting without necessarily being in contact with the patients actively. That is a healthcare team that is involved with the community health setting, and there is contact with the patients is not necessary. Medical care team consists of professional and para-professional that provide service for patients, generally in the hospital setting. It may be without any direct contact or personal contact with them. Coming to patient care team, it comprises for group of professional and semi-professional in a hospital setting who jointly provide services and bring them in direct contact with the patients. The patient care team has direct contact with the patients. Medical care team has service provision to a group of patients, but there is no direct contact. Healthcare team have contact with the community, not with the patients. Advantages of teamwork: it gives a better result by high quality performance. It involves every person and his expertise. The execution of new ideas will be possible. It increases the ownership with wider communication. It leads to information sharing and increases learning in the team. Also, it provides more security. A particular problem can easily be solved in a team. It provides a variety of solutions. It increases the willingness of every member. A team can handle more difficult and complex problems. It increases the accuracy of problem solving. Coming to limitations of teamwork, there may be unequal participation of members. Some individuals may be good workers and they may not be good team players. They may limit creative thinking. A team can sometimes take longer to produce desired result. It can result in additional expenses. It may face some conflicts. There may be peer pressure. Discussed this video under two sections. First one, introduction to human relation, and second, elements of human relation. Under introduction to human relation, we have seen definition of human relation in nursing, different dimensions of human relation in nursing, and different strategies to achieve human relation or cardinal strategies to maintain human relation. Next, we have discussed about different elements of human relation. It involved 5 elements, namely understanding the self, social attitude, social behavior, social group, motivation, and teamwork. Here is the end of this video. Thanks for watching.